Hey, welcome back to What They Don't Teach You at Fashion School. This is Fashion News Today, your dose of what's really shaping the industry beyond the glossy runways. I'm Asa Anson, and today we're talking about tariffs are shaking up Asia's garments hubs, LVMH's Loro Piana is facing heat over labour in Italy, and why Nike just swapped out the CEO of Converse. Big stories, big stakes, so grab your coffee and let's get into it. So first up, tariffs. If you've been watching global trade lately, you know the US has been ramping up tariffs on imports, left, right and centre. But here's the kicker. It's sending shockwaves throughout Asia's garment hubs like Bangladesh and Cambodia. Starting August 1st, Bangladesh faces a 35% tariffs on exports to the US. That's more than double their current rate. Cambodia, they're looking at 36%, even after slight reductions from April's eye-watering 49%. Why does this matter? Because we're talking about countries where garment industry isn't just an industry, it's a life support. In Cambodia, the sector employs over 900,000 employees, and in Bangladesh, more than 4 million employees. Most of them are women who support entire families. Union leaders are sounding the alarms. Athan Thorn from Cambodia's Apparel Workers Union has said it best. The potential loss of jobs will cut the income and ability for workers to sustain their daily lives. Meanwhile, neighbouring Vietnam struck a deal with the US to keep tariffs at 20%, much lower than Cambodia and Bangladesh. You can see where this is going. Brands may simply shift production to Vietnam, leaving factories in Bangladesh and Cambodia shuttered and closed. For context, the US is Bangladesh's biggest buyer. Last year, £8.4 billion worth of goods were made in Bangladesh. In Cambodia, nearly 40% of its total exports go straight to the US. So yeah, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just a trade policy, it questions the supply chain ethics. Who's really bearing the cost of cheap fashion when it comes to the numbers? Now, zooming out, it isn't just about Asia. President Trump is back at it, escalating his trade wars. He has threatened 30% tariffs on imports from Mexico and the EU, as well as a whopping 35% from Canada, starting August the 1st. In total, 23 countries have received this tariff warning letter. The EU, Mexico, Canada and Japan, the list goes on. What's the strategy here? Well, Trump's playing hardball to force open access to foreign markets and close the US trade deficit. But in this process, supply chains for apparel, footwear and luxury goods are being stretched to breaking point. In this tense moment, as of June, US customs duties revenue hit $100 billion for the fiscal year. So while Washington is pocketing its cash, brands are left scrambling to figure out where to produce next without alienating customers or gutting margins. And speaking of supply chain, let's talk about Loro Piana. The Italian cashmere brand, owned by LVMH, has been placed under judicial administration in Italy for 1 year. Why is this? A Milan court found that Loro Piana subcontracted products through a shell company to a Chinese-owned workshop in Italy, where workers were reportedly exploited. Think long hours, poor working conditions, and undocumented labourers. This isn't an isolated report. Similar brands such as Valentino, Dior and Armani have all been hit with similar rulings since 2023. To be clear, Loro Piana isn't under criminal investigation itself, but the court said the company failed to monitor its supply chain. This is a reminder that even in luxury spaces, where you pay thousands for a coat, ethics can lurk in the shadows of complex subcontracting chains. Italy's small manufacturers produce over 50% of global luxury goods. But as the demand for faster, cheaper products grows, in 2025 this isn't a good look. Finally, let's end on a corporate shake-up. Nike just announced Aaron Kane as the CEO of Converse. He stepped in as the brand struggles through 8 straight quarters of declining sales. Yes, 8. Converse, which once made up 7% of Nike's total sales, now contributes less than 4%. Kane, a Nike veteran, is expected to breathe new life into the Boston-based label. But let's be real, Converse has an uphill climb. Gen Z love nostalgia, but competition in the sneaker space is fierce. Can Converse pivot to stay relevant while holding onto its heritage? Only time will tell. So that's your fashion news download for today. Global tariffs shaking up supply chains, luxury brands under scrutiny, and Converse trying to lace up for its comeback. What do you think? Are tariffs just a political game, or do they force the industry to finally rethink its dependence on low-cost labour? Would you be buying Converse once they reinvent themselves? Drop us your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your takes. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe and hit the bell. You'll never miss an episode of Fashion News Today. Because let's face it, this is definitely not what they teach you at fashion school.